The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the July 8th, the terrific Tuesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day, and let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I start making that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. More important than that, though, is that during this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email. Send it off to Steve at TFNN.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, then any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on Terrific Tuesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, we are beginning our day here with a mixed bag. The mix goes like this at the moment. Dow's off 94 points. S&P is flat, up 43 cents. NASDAQ $126 the upside, 17 for the Russell, 208 for the trannies, 134 for the semis, 24 for the NASDAQ composite out there, and we're down 4 on the New York Stock Exchange. Gold's off 39 bucks, silver's off 33 cents, light sweet crude is up 14 pennies, natural gas off a nickel. High-grade copper up down 3 pennies out there, and the 30 Treasury is down 3 ticks as well. I am having problems with, I'm having some system issues here. As you can see, if you take a look, I've got the XLK up on my screen. For the daily time frame, we've got no data out there. I'm not sure what's going on, and I'm not going to be able to fix it during the show. I'm also struggling to pull up the ES Mini for some reason out there. In any event, here with regard to the XLK, and as long as we're here, here's what you should know. This is the number one sector inside the S&P 500, and it suggests very much caution about being short the S&P 500. Why is that, Stevie? Because you had a TD9 count top that was negated last week in week number 1. This is suggesting higher price out there. This is suggesting a strong upward momentum move out there. To where we could draw on all kinds of A to B equals CD patterns that we want to. Now, from a daily standpoint, this is a weekly standpoint, we've been up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This could be week number 7 to the upside out there. Monthly time frame chart negated its topping signals last month on a 30-minute basis. There's a TD9 count bottom pattern. Price is likely going to run into resistance, which is at the 256.64 level. That's a TD9 count breakdown resistance area. You close above that, this will continue to move higher out there, and that is the XLK. Let's move from here. We'll go over to the daily equity future contracts. Now, the ES Mini, it's not on my screen. I put up the SPY out here. The SPY and the ES Mini both have TD9 counts. The SPY yesterday forming a new profile. The ES Mini is attempting to do that today, although you can't see that. You just have to take my word for it at this moment in time. If we take a look at the new profile, you have support or a buy zone between 613.84 and 615.91. If the S&P 500 decides to move lower, that's where I would expect that the SPY would find support. The same thing with regard to the ES Mini. Of course, I can't share with you what those profiles are at the moment. Right now, as long as price remains above the top of it's a green oscillator and change line, it is close right now. That's at 621 and change, 621.13. We're printing at 620.95. So as long as if price can remain above that green oscillator and change line, then you'd have price above the top of its daily profile. This is the SPY. At 620.06, above its green oscillator and change line, with a TD9 count top. That is a neutral signal. That is not a bearish signal whatsoever. If we take a look at the NQ, I think I mentioned this earlier, the NQ did not form any kind of topping yesterday for its daily time frame. Period. End of story. What it does have is it does have a profile that's got resistance at 22,934.75 and support at 22,250.75. The Dow Equity Future contract completing its TD9 count topping pattern today. However, it's also, as you can see, testing that green oscillator and change line. So its signal at this moment in time is neutral. That's actually a buy point, that green oscillator and change line. The Dow Equity Future contract has a bullish structured profile, so it has a buy zone between 43,975 and 44,376. The Russell 2000 Equity Future contract has a TD9 count top that's been in place for a few days. Today and yesterday, price testing and rejecting that oscillator and change line. Only after, at this stage here, a one-day pullback. Strong like bull. But now it's got to deal with one more resistance point, really, too. 2253.80, the top of its daily profile. And then ultimately, the high that came in back on July the 3rd out there. It needs to close above 2280 to tell us that it's really got its mojo. Although right now, it is singing the word. It's singing the song, I got my mojo back. Don't know if that's a tune, but we could create one. So that's what's going on. We take a look at the daily equity future contracts. Let's go take a look at the daily cash indices out here. From a cash indice perspective, you'll see a TD9 count for the Dow Jones Industrial with price pulling back towards its oscillator and change line. That's a key level of support for it, 44,159-ish. S&P, you'll see the TD9 count top there. You can see here price is again testing that oscillator and change line. The NDX 100 did form a TD9 count top. The NQ did not. The QQEW did. The QQQ did. The NQ did not. In the case of the NDX 100, you'll see that TD9 count top with price below its oscillator and change line. It has lost its momentum. Russell 2000 formed that TD9 count top there again a couple of days ago. Price in essence finding support at that oscillator and change line, and price trading towards that swing point. If it closes inside today, 2232.30, you're likely to go test that high. You're 2232.80 as we speak right now. The semiconductor index, strong like bull. You know why? Because it did not form any kind of a top out there. So this also wants to continue to move higher. We are trading above the high from back on July 3rd at 56.68.14. Don't know if we close the day above that, but if we do, that would be super bullish. The transports have a TD9 count top. Price targeting its actual TD9 count top remains above its oscillator and change line. Therefore, it is neutral at worst case. NASDAQ Composite that does have a TD9 count top. Price finding resistance at its oscillator and change line. If it closes above it, it being 2487-ish, then you're going to go target that TD9 count top. And New York Stock Exchange, its TD9 count top also finding support at its oscillator and change line. There is nothing, let me repeat, there is nothing, even though we've got all these topping patterns, and I mean, we've got a lot of them. Got a fur ball, clearly sucked it in. There is nothing here to indicate that this is any kind of top of significance. And let's not forget, let's definitely not forget, let me pull this over here. I'll be just stalling for time to get that fur ball completely down the throat. Here is the 97-year seasonal cycle for the S&P 500. You can see the red vertical line is where we're at. That says we don't top until September. The presidential cycle says we don't top until the beginning of August out there. So we're going against the strongest month of the year for the S&P 500 over the last 97 years. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. A quick peek in at the New York Stock Exchange. Its advanced client oscillator, bottom left-hand panel. You'll see that the overbought conditions have been worked off. You'll see that we remain above the zero threshold level out there. That tells us that buyers have an edge. The spot VIX index remains below its 50-day exponential moving average, the 50-day displayed by that gold line at 1961. That also provides buyers with the edge out there. So just share that with you. Now let's take a look at some of the requests that have come in out there. The first request is from Nitram, wants to take a look at ticker symbol SBET out here, SBET. Oh, I see. I didn't have that turned on here. Shoot. Let me get this going here on the monthly time frame. So for the daily time frame, this thing had a gigantic breakout, couple breakouts. First one, May 27th. 54 million shares to the upside. That established this fairly wide gap out there. Now, price has not gotten down to test that gap. I don't know if it will or it won't. Then you had that wide-ranging bar on the trading session of May 29th, another wide-ranging bar on the May 30th out there. So to the extent, Nitram, that you're looking to take an entry in this, I think I had shared this with you before as it was forming that TD9 count bottom pattern back in the middle of June out there. So to the extent you're looking to take a long position out here, you just got to have your stop. It's got to be a fairly wide stop, I would think. The stop would have to be at least all the way down below 691, and we're at 1444 right now. If you're going to do it properly. Another thing you could do is you could wait and you could play a momentum move. On a momentum move, you would wait for SBET to close above the top of its oscillator and change line for the weekly time frame, currently printed at 1526. That would also take us above the bottom of its monthly profile at 1445. Now you'll see both the center and bottom are at that 1445 level. So that should be a strong level of support. If you can get above and close above that green oscillator and change line, this should continue to rally further out there. So that's what's going on with regard to SBET. Let's take a look at the next request, which is BT out there. And that is trading at $3.81. Now, in this instance here, this is likely going to go target $4.80. We're trading above daily profile. We don't have any kind of a topping pattern that I see. We're trading above this weekly profile. We're also trading above its weekly TD9 count breakdown resistance level. The same is true for the daily time frame. All of those are bullish messages. Now, on a weekly basis, price is testing its swing point from the week of November 15th. And that swing point had volume of 168 million shares. So far, in a day and a couple hours, we're up with 256. So you got 256 million going into 168 million. You know the routine here. If price closes above 417 today, whoops, I'm sorry. If price can close, 417. That's how it gets inside that swing point out there. That'll suggest that you're headed to the upside out there. You're trading at 378 right now. But otherwise, everything looks bullish here. 480 being the top of that monthly profile, if I did not already share that for you. So that was BT, and that was for Nitram inside our Tigers Den. Tom G writes in, and Tom would like to take a look at the GDX. As we take a look at the GDX, well, that's actually Marvell. That's not what Tom wanted to look at. So let's try to get to the GDX. The GDX right now printing out at $50.63. My recollection is that you are short the GDX. The GDX right now is trading into its swing point, Tom, from June 27th. Volume there, 32 million shares so far today in less than 2 hours of trading, 16 million shares. So you got 16 so far going into 32. You're moving down with volume. You'd love to see it take out that swing low. That's at 50.32. If you do that, that's going to get us down towards 48.94. 48.94 is the bottom of the weekly profile. If we get below 48.94, we're looking at a move to 46.65. That would be the daily TD9 count breakout level out there. You also could form an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. You certainly have the volume. You just need price now to close below that swing point that we took a look at. That A to B equals CD pattern out here, Tom, would give us a price projection. It's going to be around it's around 48, just call it 49, 48.50, somewhere right around there. I'm not saying that's where price is going to stop. I'm just letting you know that's a pattern that it is setting up or potentially setting up. The monthly time frame chart, actually, if at the end of the month we've got a bearish reversal candle, you would have a sell the D point top there. So you got a top on the daily time frame, you got a top on the weekly. We may or may not get that topping pattern on the monthly time frame. Too early to tell with it being only July the 8th out there. Those are your price targets, Tom, so I hope that helps you out. I believe you're also short NVIDIA. Let's go take a look at NVDA, see what it is doing out here. NVIDIA is trading out, okay. Odd. That's okay. Stevie's system today is odd. But take a look at NVIDIA. You're short. You must be short because of peak G then, because that's what we've got out here is a wave number 7 top that formed on July the 3rd. So that's the good news. What's the bad news? The bad news is price is trading above profile resistance. Profile resistance being 158.71. Granted, we're at 158.91. Watch it close today. If you close above 158.71, not that wave number 7 isn't a top, it is, but you'd be above the green oscillator and change line, and profile would at least tell you that you're going to go target that high of 160.98. Now, 143 million shares traded that day. So far, we've got 50 million shares. You're trading inside that swing point with volume. That says you get up and you test that high out there. So I tell you what you do. You're short. Go ahead and remain short if you want. 158.71 is the number to watch at day's end. If you close above that, Tom, and especially if it's got volume, I would step aside from that trade. The weekly time frame chart negated a TD9 count top last week. That's telling us that it wants higher price. Let's populate the chart here for the monthly time frame. The monthly time frame does not have a topping pattern. Negated its Rhodes momentum indicator top out here. So NVIDIA for the monthly time frame, weekly time frame, says it wants to move higher. The daily's just waiting for its wave number 7 pattern to get negated out there. So, Tom, that's what I'd say. Being short on the GDX, we'll take a look at gold, I'm sure, out there. Realize on that GDX trade that gold was getting close to testing support. Let's put that up here right now just to do a proper review for Tom. Let's get the August contract for gold up on our screen. It's really the daily time frame that we're most interested in. You'll see that price did get down and tested and so far rejected that 32.9950 level out there. Now, you may remember last week, if you were listening in on Thursday, one of our listeners Greg had written in and wanted to take a look at the directional correlation charts between gold and the GDX. And we did show them on that chart. I think we did show them on the screen. If I didn't, I meant to. But there's a good, solid directional correlation out there. I think who's the dog, who's the tail? The dog, the big dog. It's got to be Goldilocks out there. So you want to see a crack. You want to see a close below 32.99.50. I know you're a short-term trader, so you keep, pay attention to that as well. Now, if you don't close below it, but you are at least close below the swing point, the June 30th swing point, so you close below 33.21.60 out there, can understand, staying long. There were 144,000 contracts that transpired that day. We're already 138,000, so we are moving lower with volume expanding out there. That's what we see with regard to Goldilocks and the GDX. Hope that helps you out. And as always, thanks for your request. Let's take a look at the next one up. The next one up is AIQ. This is for Doug and Steve, and we'll take a look at that when we get back from this break. We're going to look at AIQ, LAES, DVS, FXI, and of course, I'd love to, and we're going to take a look at Nike. Dan. Nike showed up as one of my top short trades last night. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We're going to take a look at AIQ. This is for Duncan Steve inside the Tiger's Den. And this set of charts is so emblematic of so many charts that we take a look at. And that meaning that we are in store, even though I'm going to show you all, we can show you all kinds of topping signals out there. It really does look like it's set up for just a very short term. Could be a 2-day, again, 2-day, 4-day. I mean, nothing significant. So if we take a look at AIQ, you'll see a TD9 count top that was negated last week. Negated again in 1 week. When you negate that topping signal in 1 week, tells you about a very strong upward momentum move. Of course, we know about that strong upward momentum move because we got price traded above that oscillator and change line at 41.81 and above the top of its profile, 39.06 out there. The daily time frame did yesterday form a Rhodes momentum indicator top. That bearish separating candle went ahead and confirmed that pattern. We now have price that it is trading with inside its profile. 43.75 is the top, and a buy zone at 42.72 to 42.98. That would really be the price target to the downside, and then it should resume higher from there. Of course, you could just have a 2 to 3 bar move to the downside. That as well might be a bottom. No bottom, no top. No top in the weekly, no top in the monthly time frame chart. So AIQ longer term. If you hold this, then you should remain holding this and just be ready for a little bit of turbulence as the daily deals with that Rhodes momentum indicator top. AIQ, let's go take a look at LAES out there. Not Lay's potato chips, but who doesn't want one of those? And you got LAES that is consolidating, dunk inside its profiles. 379 at support. Rejected and tested this morning was 427, the top of that profile. You've got a Rhodes momentum indicator top, but just a consolidation. The weekly time frame does not have a top as we speak, and just price consolidating with inside its profiles as well. 461 at resistance, $1.42 to 248 is the buy zone, and the monthly time frame chart says profile schmofile or whatever that might be. It says a longer term. LAES wants to make a run for $9.93. $9.93 is the top of the monthly profile. We say that it wants to make a run for that because odds favor when you close above the center of a monthly of a bullish structured profile, which it did last month by closing above 350. Of course, we need this month to close above 350 as well. Longer term, that's where it wants to head to. So that's what we see when we take a look at LAES. Dunk, hope that gave you the info you were looking for. InnoVisual wants to take a look at a stock out here, a silver stock, relatively new silver stock. Ticker symbol is DVS. You can see the IPO. I'm assuming the IPO came out back in looks like back in April. Now on a day, so we've got limited data. As you can see on the monthly time frame, not a zip, zilch. On a weekly time frame, not a zip, zilch. Nothing out there. No profiles, no oscillator change line. No nothing really for us to hang our hats on. So it's going to have to be the daily time frame. And on a daily time frame, InnoVisual, and I think you are accumulating the stock is what you said. Price is trading with inside its profile. That profile support level is at 333. Resistance up at 378. I wish I could give you more information. The only other piece of information that I can provide to you is if this did pull back to $2.58, that would be the area where you'd probably load up the truck a bit. That's its TD9 count breakout area. Of course, by then we'd have a lot more information and we could make a determination whether that's an accurate statement or not. But right now, just a daily consolidation. Hope that gave you the information you were looking for. GTE writes in and would like to take a look at the FXI. So let's pull up the China FXI ETF out here, and that is trading below profile support, which is at 37.02. It's trading below its green oscillator and change line for the daily time frame. Says it's lost its momentum. All right, so it's lost momentum. You got nothing but gaps out there because of the currency conversion. What does FXI want to do? Good question. Yeah, on the weekly time frame, we've got a TD9 count top that led to basically price pulling back towards, didn't get all the way down to its breakout level of 28.41, but got down there and then it started moving higher, and now we are trading inside its profile. And you are in the sell zone area, 36.47 to 37.23. Close above 37.23, you'll go target that TD9 count top, which basically means you go target around the 39.78, the weekly TD9 count breakdown resistance area. So the daily time frame, I can't make heads or tails or schmales out of that out here. The weekly time frame, much easier to take a look at. So we'll just stick with the consolidation on the weekly time frame, 37.23. If you close above that, you start to target the 39.78 level out there. So that was FXI. Yesterday, we looked at Nike out there. I believe we looked at it for Dan inside the Tigers Den. We're going to look at it again. Now, I run reports for subscribers, knowing that we had all those TD9 count tops out there. This report went through all the index ETFs out there, so the diamonds, the IWMQs and SPYs, and went through the Dow 30 stocks, all the stocks in the semis, the NDX 100, all of those in the S&P 500 that had TD9 count topping signals. Nike is the one that actually stood out yesterday as the one with the best reward risk out there. I've got it highlighted here so you can see the kind of data that the newsletter's subscribers receive. It even gives you your position size, which is based on how many shares per $10,000. You would have exactly where to set your stops, where the different price targets are, what those risk rewards are. So you'll see that the risk reward was largest with regard to its TD9 count breakout support level. Getting back to that would be like a 4-to-1 ratio. But we can also see that getting back to its oscillator and change line and profile levels, not too bad as well. Now, in the oscillator and change line, it's only about it's a little bit less than a 2-to-1, 1.6-to-1. Let's get to the charts right now. So that's why when I say it came up as really one of the largest, if I take a look at the risk reward percentages out there, and that's based on using a stop expansion of 1.618 out here. So all those scans are done so that subscribers have a whole list of items to either go long or short. In this case here, our focus was on the short time frame, in this case for the daily time frame. The reason why Nike came out as one of the larger best reward risk trades out here, Dan, was because when you get tops or bottoms, in this case we're talking tops, odds favor, highest probability is that price will get back to the oscillator and change line. Hey, no guarantees out there, but a gigantic, ginormous high probability. So where's that price target? That right now is at 71.11. The other reason why it became, such a potentially good short trade is because if you look at getting below 71.12 right now, there's no profile level. Profile levels are below the breakout area. The breakout area for Nike is at 60.36. And then when we put that together with the weekly time frame chart, we see that the level of support is down at 63.75. So it's just the monthly time frame. Yes, I do remember 72 was ideally your price target. Right now, we got to go with 71. So 72, has shown up. So this happened to when it showed up last night, and I was producing the report for subscribers. I just had to smile, and I was glad that you actually said, "Let's go take Nike again." So that's what we have now. There may be a new profile that forms. It could be formed this afternoon, tomorrow, what have you, and then you've got some additional levels of support to deal with on the monthly time frame. That level of support is 67.36 out there. So Steve Rhodes with TFNN. I'll have to go look. I think I've been through all the requests. Well, I know I've been through all the requests that I wrote down on my screen. You can send me an email. Send it quick. Steve@TFNN.com. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
All right, folks, next up on our screen is ticker was FUTU. I was going to say the ticker symbol, which says FUTU. Didn't really want to say that, but I did. Anyway, FUTU is what we're going to take a look at. This is for Don. Don's question is, his first question is really, is this a 3 drive to a top pattern out here? So, boy, lots of potential tops to choose from. So, on a 3 drive to a top, you want to make sure that it is equal in time frame and it's nothing that you want to force. Equal in time frame. What the hell does that mean, Stevie? So, if you give me a second here, I do have a tool that should give me, where did I put time cycles? Right here. And I don't know if I've got it set to my 3 drive. Let's see. So the first time cycle, that would be your first drive. Your second drive, oh, it's done at the bottom, would be right there. That would be the June 16th. So I've got the first drive out here as of May 29th. Second drive out here would be June 16th. And then that third drive ideally would have taken place on July the 3rd. Now, this is 2 days later. Can that qualify? Yeah, let's give it a little bit of slack here. Now, does that mean it's a 3 drive to a top pattern? Meaning, is it a top? And that's really the question. So let's try to answer that question now. We look at the daily time frame. What we actually have is a to B equals CD pattern to the upside. Let's see if this was passed with volume. The B point of that A to B equals CD pattern is a trading day of May 14th. Volume there, 1.8 million shares. When it was passed with 3.6 million shares. So there is a confirmed daily A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. Let's go ahead and let's draw in. I'm just going to simply move this over. And when I say move this over, I'm referring to the A to B line to the C point out there. And what FUTU has is a confirmed daily A to B equals CD pattern that gets you a price projection of 145.44. So that's another pattern that is in play out here. There is no other topping signal that I see. What you would need in order for today to be a 3 drive to a top, if we give it those 2 extra days out there, is a bearish reversal candle. Must realize that this gapped up, so you've got a bullish reverse. You got a bullish candle today, and a bullish candle is taking out yesterday's shooting star candle. We're trading above that, so not seeing the 3 drive. Do I see the 3 drives that you're looking at? locked on. Absolutely. But for me, A to B equals CD patterns. Even though we've drawn in an A to B, I don't say sell that 146 area. I say wait for the cavalry to tell you that the bears have shown up, the sellers have shown up, and they'll do that by generating a bearish reversal candle out there. So yes, I see your 3 drive to a top. Does it qualify? It does. Now what you need is confirmation, and confirmation would be a bearish reversal candle. So the daily is really telling us that it really wants higher price, trade above all resistance, and so forth. The weekly time frame is in the process of potentially negating a TD9 count top. The TD9 count top formed the week of June 27th. The volume there was about 9.9 million shares. Of course, it's only a day, but we're at 4 million shares in a day and a couple of hours. You're taking that out with volume. That TD9 count top. You take that out, that says it wants higher price. Price is also going against, a double or triple top area, the swing point from February 21st, 13 million shares there. Again, so far we've done 4 million shares. And then you've got the top on October 18th, 28 million shares. Now that volume may hold out there, but if you can't close above that high out there is 130.50. That would be nice. The monthly time frame chart does not have a top. You see a TD9 count pattern, but bar number 6 was the high of that pattern out there. So the monthly time frame for FUTU is bullish, and it says that over time it wants to make a run for the 179.69 level out there. So Don, I hope that gave you the information and a little bit more than what you were asking for. Nicholas writes in, and Nicholas would like to take a look at the NQ intraday charts out there. So let's pull up the NQ intraday charts. Yeah, I got, a problem with this whole, I don't know what's going on with that daily time frame signal. Here's what I can share with you on the 5-hour time frame chart. You've got we get the prices right now, testing support, which happens to be the top of its profile, and that's at 22,901. TD9 count top, here we go. Let's take the TD9 count Rhodes momentum indicator top on the 4-hour time frame chart with price trading with inside its profile. Resistance at 22,978, Nicholas, with support at 22,804. You've got several buy the D point patterns that formed, by the way. There were buy the D point patterns that formed on the 2-hour, the 4-hour, the 5-hour, the 1-hour. All of them have buy the D point. So what that also really sets up, the NQs are going to get moving and cooking to the downside. They're going to have to take out those buy the D point or Gartley buy patterns. That requires a close below 22,779.75. In most instances, those are bullish hammer candle levels that had formed out there. So that would be the area to the downside that you would be watching. To the upside, inside the NQ, and still have to say it's going to be the 2-hour oscillator and change line. We got a close above it. That was at 4 o'clock this morning, but we got right back down below that level. So a key area out here to the upside, Nicholas, is going to be 22,930, 4, 5, something like that, and then above that 22,979. So that's what I see when I take those intraday charts for the NQ. Hope that provided the information you were looking for. Dan writes in, and Dan wants to take a look at ticker, or suggests that ticker symbol GEVO may be a candidate for a short. And Dan is right about that because today is going to become bar number 8 of a TD9 count for its daily time frame. So the daily time frame is suggesting that you could see a top form between today, Tuesday, and Thursday of this week. Now, the caution sign here, prices above profile resistance and screen oscillator and change line, those become your downside price targets should this move lower, and that's at about $1.39 out there. The weekly time frame right now, no topping signal. Price it did close above the top of its weekly profile last week at 149. A second close above that is going to signal that GEVO wants to make a run for 217 out there. Nothing legible that I can grab, Dan, from the monthly time frame chart out there. Duncan Steve wants to take a look at DDOG, so let's get that up on our screen out here. DDOG is got, what do we have? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, no, A, B. So you got a potential wave number 7 top. You got a potential. You've got a wave number 7 top out there. Price should target its oscillator and change line. That's at 141.55. If price were to close below that, it would make a beeline for the top of its daily profile, and that's down at the 133.50 level. The weekly time frame chart does not have a top, has a negated TD9 count top. Closed last week. It's what it did last week. It closed inside a swing point from back on December 6th at 29 million shares. Basically, you closed inside it with 42 million shares. That said, you closed inside it. It was really suggesting that you should test the top at 170.08. This week, though, I don't know what the volume metric is going to be. We're already at 28 million shares. That's got that tells you that price is going to be back up there. So DDOG, even though on the daily time frame you've got a top out here, the weekly is saying I want to get back up there. The monthly says I've got resistance at 155.82 out there. You also wanted to take a look at ticker symbol SYM. Let's pull SYM up on our screen out here. This is got a candidate for a TD9 count top that will form tomorrow. It'll form tomorrow as long as price is able to close above 42.80. That should take price back towards the oscillator and change line, 42.07. The weekly, you hear me say this almost ad nauseum, another negated TD9 count top. Again, this all suggests short-term topping patterns out here. This is not a top of any significance. At least that's what all the charts are telling us. We look at those weekly or monthly charts and match them up with what's going on a daily time frame. And the monthly here says I want to make a move higher. It's trading above all resistance out there. Doug, hope that helps you out, and we'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back. We're looking at the charts here for Uber. This for S&P inside the Tiger's Den. Uber yesterday confirmed an A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. That would get you up towards the 115 level. It took out its swing point. Did it with volume. Yesterday we had 29 million shares. It was going against 20 million shares. No other topping signals, so it should continue to move up towards that level. The weekly time frame is trading above all resistance out there, as well as the monthly time frame without topping patterns. So you've got Uber wants to make a nice move up towards that 115 level S&P. Let's take a look at ticker symbol OLO. This is for Dennis in West Palm Beach. OLO is going to complete a TD9 count top today. Had a gigantic gap to the upside a couple of days ago. If this is going to pull back, 978 would be the first level of support. Below that would be 948. The weekly time frame does not have any kind of a topping signal. It suggests that it wants to move higher out there. The monthly time frame is doing the same. Now it's traded above its TD9 count breakdown resistance level. Even though this has got a potential top out there, the monthly and the weekly are saying, not so fast. So all you need to do is close above today's high tomorrow to negate that signal, which would then just confirm that this is headed higher, Dennis. And finally, let's go to take a look at the stock charts for Meta. Facebook out here also for Dennis in West Palm Beach. Dennis, you've got price right now that is dealing with its daily profile. Resistance at 720.21. We're at 719.21 right now. Price can close above that. Your next resistance level will be 731. I don't see a topping pattern on the daily time frame. On a weekly time frame, there is a TD9 count top. That TD9 count top should take price back to its oscillator and change line. That's at about the 687 level out there. Of course, before it can get to 687, you'd have to bust through the daily profile support level at 699.44. And we're not even sure if that's in the cards at this moment in time. And then finally, we look at the monthly time frame chart. No topping pattern in play. Trade above all resistance. It looks like it's very, very strong. Folks, thanks so much for joining me on Terrific Tuesday. Hope you have a terrific day. Please join me tomorrow on Wonderful Wednesday. In the meantime, please stay tuned for all the great programming and have a terrific day. We'll see you soon.